The views and opinions of the guest do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hi, this is Chris Clark, guitarist and singer for Babylon Shakes, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather. As always, I'm bringing you guys and gals awesome interviews. Today, it's an honor and a privilege to have Mr. Chris Clark, guitarist and vocalist of Babylon Shakes. Babylon Shakes' debut album, Exile to the Velveteen Lounge, will be released February 1st. They have also added a fourth member, bassist David Elmore. Also, Babylon Shakes will perform at Rocklanta March 29th and 30th in Atlanta, Georgia. Well, not both days, but one of those days they'll be there. So anyway, Chris, how's it going, man? And welcome to the show.
I'm doing good, John. Man, thanks for having me.
Not a problem. Glad to have you on here. Like I said, I got to listen to this album. I like what I hear from you guys. It takes me back to, like I said, when I was a kid, growing up on the early 80s sound of music. And just like you said, it's got that Faster Pussycat sound. It's got the old school stuff that really fits right now, especially. And I think this is going to be good for you guys, to be honest with you. This is a really good album.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, we had a blast making it. And, it's got all the, all four of us are completely in love with old Aerosmith, Faster Pussycat, just the good early 80s, late 70s rock and roll. We just all got it in our blood. So we got together and started jamming, and that's exactly where we wanted to take it. And we're really, really happy with how the record came out.
How's it been working with high volume music so far? How's it been working with those guys and gals?
It's been really good. We met Bill Chavis at our very first show, which was back in December of last year, and we just kind of said hello and exchanged pleasantries, and then we put out a little EP just independently, and Bill heard it and really liked it. He said we were one of the first acts he wanted to bring on his label as he was expanding his roster, and so far everything's wonderful. Get a lot of support, a lot of help with booking some bigger shows like Rocklanta, and our record's going to be out February 1st, and it's going to be on vinyl, too, so we're really stoked about that. How
did the band come together, Chris? Who got the ball rolling first with this?
It was really my idea. I met Jeff Mortimer, our drummer, at believe it or not, a Faster Pussycat after party. And we started talking, and we were just kind of, talking about our influences and what we listened to and what we were up to, and we really hit it off. And my previous band was kind of folding at the time, so I told him, I said, I might send you some demos, and we'll get together and jam or something. And I'd also mentioned that to Brad Lee, and I'm thinking about putting something new together, but more bluesy, more punk, more Aerosmith, Hanoi kind of thing. And he said, okay, well, if you can get something together by December, I got a show for you. I'm like, oh, geez. My wife's like, you better call that drummer you were talking to. So I sent Jeff a couple of demos, and he really, really liked it. And I think about 2 to 3 weeks later, we got together for the very first time with Gary. And Jeff and Gary played together for a long number of years in a band called Cage. So they were a really tight rhythm section already, and so the three of us got into a room together, I think around Labor Day weekend, and man, it just exploded, and we knew then we had something.
I want to go back and talk about the vinyl release. Do you guys? I know everything's digital now, and CDs are kind of going away, which I think that sucks. But speaking of the CDs going away, and now we're getting back into vinyls, do you think this is going to be a big resurgence of vinyls now, you think, possibly?
I hope so. I collect vinyl myself, and I really, really enjoy it. It's very exciting to me because when I was a kid, I'd love to go into record stores and pick up that big 12 by 12 artwork and look at the liner notes. And a lot of friends of ours are becoming vinyl collectors as well, and I find myself buying brand new stuff. I got the Struts on vinyl, and
nice.
But then I'll go back and get the Stones and the Faces and stuff like that. So yeah, I kind of feel like there is a resurgence going on with vinyl.
What has adding bassist David Elmore brought to this band since he's joined, Chris?
Oh, David's a great guy. He's just another brother. I mean, the Jeff and Gary and myself, when we got together, we always said, we were so tight. We were family, and if we were fortunate enough to meet another guy who was just like us, like-minded and everything, we'd bring him in, and we would, would move Gary over to guitar. And we really got lucky with Dave. He came in, and he's got the same influences. He's all about the look. Just a really down-to-earth, nice guy, and the sound is a little more filled out live. I get to kind of lay back more and play fills and solos and concentrate on singing a little bit. So it's just the more better of everything, I guess, if that makes sense.
Now, you guys are going to start video production for Making a Million. That's set to begin January 12th. Was it hard to choose between the current set of songs on this debut album to be the first single and video? Also, what did you want the first song and video to say for Babylon Shakes when people saw it?
Making a Million for us has always been just an anthemic kind of song. So we once we had it written and everything put together, it was like, okay, this is it. We're at least putting this out as a single, or it's going to be the lead off track. So we kind of knew early on that's the one we wanted to push, and Bill as well. With Highball, he was very much behind it. And with the video, we really want to show people what we look like, how we play together, how much fun we have. The song's kind of a sort of a tongue-in-cheek song about the record industry, how there's really not much of it left anymore, and it's sort of the Wild West. And
that's true.
But yeah, we're having fun. That we feel like we've already got it made. We're playing with we're all brothers. We love each other. We have a great time playing and traveling. So to us, we've already got it made. Everybody's got day jobs, but we couldn't imagine not doing this. So it's that's kind of the message of Making a Million.
And nowadays, like you said, you're right. It's hard for bands to stay afloat because the word of mouth has kind of gone away now. It's kind of word of likable on Facebook, or, hey, follow us on Instagram now. It's not like, hey, check out this band, word of mouth deal. And instead of having a promoter, you're the promoter who has to promote that show and what you're doing. And it's kind of like DIY now for everybody, not like it used to be.
That is so true. I was thinking the other day, it's like, man, bands have to be like professional marketers,
yes, sir,
recording engineers, booking agents. It's tough, really tough.
Any songs off the album standing out more to you than any on it as of right now, if possible? I know these must change every time you guys hear it, but for you, are there any that stick out possibly? I'm
really fond of No Pictures, Please. That's one of my favorite songs. To me, it's really, really catchy, and I had a lot of fun writing it and coming up with that riff. And I find myself, this week, just going back and listening to it. Next week, it'll probably be something else. But that right now, that's my favorite one.
And plus, you've got to be super excited about this debut album because, I'm sure that you guys got burnt out possibly on recording and hearing these all the time. But now when it's get ready to come out, I'm sure that this puts more excitement and the juices flow more better for you guys and get y'all more excited possibly.
It really does, yeah. Plus, we brought Dave in just really at the tail end of last year, so bringing him in, getting him up to speed, learning these songs has been, it sort of reinvigorates all of us as well. And our first live show with Dave is coming up in 2 weeks, so we're really kind of riding on cloud 10 right now.
I'm sure he's itching at the bit to get on that stage right now, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Chris, who produced this album for you guys?
We have a really good friend. Gary introduced us to, his name is Zach Jones, and he's a really super talented engineer and producer. He was most recently in a band called, I think it was My Enemies and I. They're a little heavier, more modern. They kind of have I guess some kind of a like Marilyn Manson, Slipknot kind of a sound. And
nice.
But he's produced a lot of really heavy bands and done a fantastic job. And we sent him, some demos, and he came back and said, "Yeah, this is really good. My dad loves this stuff."
That's a plus.
And we're like, okay, we're doing something right. But all kidding aside, he did a fantastic job. The guitars sound massive, and the drums are just like thunder. So we're really happy with that.
Working with him, did he just let you do your own thing and then step in when he needed to, or how did you guys work all this out? Did he push you guys hard on it?
Not really at all. We pretty much had everything composed the way we wanted it to go. All the songs were set in stone for the most part. He had a few suggestions, with like background vocals and effects and things of that nature. But it's pretty much what you hear is what came from our brains and the band.
What do you hope everyone takes away from this album, or message you hope they hear while listening to it, or just any Babylon Shakes music at all whatsoever in general? What do you hope they get from it, Chris?
I hope they hear it and they really are immediately just attracted to the songs. They want to sing along with every single one of them. It just kind of, maybe reinvigorates everybody into the spirit of, man, original rock and roll is still alive. It's still out there. There's still people making really good music, and, it just having a good time again,
How much growth musically have you seen this band and yourself go through from the formation of the band to the EP, now to the full-length album, or has it just been more of a personal growth for all of you guys involved?
It's really been just personal growth for all of us, just spending a lot more time together. I'm 3 hours away from Gary, and we get together at his house and jam and rehearse and record. So we're really only together maybe 2 weekends out of a month, if we're not playing out. But it really brought us closer together. We got to know each other even more personally, and we've learned how to work together really well. We share influences, and we'll teach each other what we're listening to and what new Stone song is in our playlist, stuff like that, and where to go thrift shop.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
When you come into the recording studio, do you do anything differently during the writing and recording process to help keep your mind open and fresh and not get bored and not let the music get stale? Is there anything you do to help you out possibly?
We usually, like when we're in recording mode, we'll just stay like the whole weekend together, and we'll like watch. I know we'll watch like old Aerosmith concert footage or Hanoi Rocks footage from the early 80s. We'll just constantly do that to keep ourselves just really excited and invigorated. And then we'll just, jam acoustically too, and just make sure we got everything as tight as possible.
What can fans expect at a show from Babylon Shakes who have not got to see you guys live as of yet?
Just super high energy, super fun. Just we're constantly moving around. There's a lot of excitement. We love to interact with each other. You'll see how much fun we have playing together. We're always laughing and just having a ball.
We're living in the digital era of recording albums to get music out quicker, and plus now we have social media to reach out to more folks who have not got to hear Babylon Shakes music as of yet. Do you like this now, or do you not like this now?
It's a weird double-edged sword. It's kind of, I have Spotify, and I make all kinds of crazy playlists all the time, and it's so strange how easy it is to find pretty much anything you can imagine, to listen to on it. And but by the same token, it's I think it being too easy is not a good thing. I remember when I was a teenager and I really, fell in love with bands. I would go and read Circus and Hit Parader and Metal Edge, and man, you would anticipate an album coming out for months and months, and you would save your allowance and go and get it and take it home, and it was like it just, I don't know, I think it just meant more to you, and you really paid attention to every song and every detail. I think today, the availability is unprecedented, but it's so quick. Within a second you can listen to one song, maybe halfway through, and change your mind, and bam, pull up another one. And it's a strange thing. It really is. I miss the nostalgia and when the physical product meant so much, and it was really much more valued, I think, than digital music is today.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do like the digital stuff because, let's face it, it's here. There's nothing you could really do with it. But I do like what you said there, because back in the day, you had to go and read Hit Parader or Circus Magazine or, like you said, Metal Edge or something like that to find out about bands. And I remember the first time I saw King Diamond, and it scared the shit out of me because I didn't know who he was. Like, wow. And it was interesting. And plus, I was about, 10, 11, looking at those magazines and seeing Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses and stuff like that, going, man, I'm intrigued and want to know more about these bands, and trying to get a subscription to those magazines just to fill my knowledge and find out more about those bands was cool. And like you said, those days are highly missed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's funny because, I was thinking the other day, like I really, when I first heard Motley Crue, I was blown away, and then I saw them, and even more just enamored with them. And it seems like the build-up took forever for, like, Shout at the Devil to come out. And, thinking, like, today, if they had just appeared and were on the scene, you could find a Wikipedia entry and know every single thing about each one of them within, like, 2 seconds. The mystery's gone,
Oh yeah. Now you can figure out, like, had breakfast this morning, and now look what I'm having for dinner, and now I'm at the park sitting with my dog, and I don't care. I don't care. But I will say this. I will give a shout out, and this is the first time I've ever done this on here. I will give a shout out to a tribute band of Motley Crue. They're called Motley Inc., and I saw them on YouTube. The guys absolutely kill it, Chris. The lead vocalist,
wow.
I'm telling you, you need to check them out. The lead vocalist is Vince Neil plus 10. The dude is absolutely amazing. Really good.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
I'd love to see a Crue tribute band do, like, the really early stuff, like Too Fast for Love era Crue.
Wow. Yeah, well, they did, like, the Live Wire and Girls, stuff like that. But yeah, they. I'm telling you, man, you get a chance, check them out. I'm pretty sure you'll like them as well, because you can close your eyes and just go away for a while, and you would not think that isn't Vince Neil up there singing. No joke.
Oh, awesome! I want to check them out.
Yes, for sure. In your own opinion, Chris, what does Babylon Shakes bring to the table for music that's not out there as of right now? I know that nobody's reinventing the wheel, but what do you guys bring to the table possibly?
I think we're not like a melodic. I know there are a lot of melodic kind of hard rock bands out there that I think kind of get sort of into that second generation of hair metal. I know we've gotten kind of reviews that sort of put us in that too, and that's cool. But we're not. I think we're edgier. We're more. We definitely have a punk edge, a bluesier edge. I think our I'm really, really proud of the songwriting, and that's something. I think that's becoming a bit of a lost art. There are a lot of really super talented players out there, but I think the art of songwriting is really it has suffered a bit. I think that's definitely a feather in our cap, and like I said, we're a little grittier, we're a little edgier. We have the sleazy element in our music as well. It sort of separates us from a lot of folks.
And plus, you have guitar solos in your music.
And lots of guitar solos.
And that's 10 times plus with me. I like that stuff. What made you want to become a musician? What was that spark for you, Chris, that said, yeah, that's what I want to do right there?
Oh my gosh, I remember it like it was yesterday. I was, I was in middle school, and we didn't have MTV yet, but there was like a local music video channel out of Greensboro, and I was getting dressed for school one morning, and Hanoi Rocks Boulevard of Broken Dreams came on, and I think I was trying to tie my shoes, and that video came on, and I just stopped. And I was like, that is the coolest thing I have ever seen or heard. You know, I'm going to stop playing with my Texas Instruments computer and go and get a guitar today.
No more computer, must get guitar.
That was it. Yep. That did it.
Is there a country that stands out or even shocks you that Babylon Shakes gets support from, or even your music gets played in if possible? I mean, I know the EP's out right now, plus you've got the singles and everything out. Get ready to, but is there anyone that shocks you possibly?
Let's see. We got reviewed not too long ago, and I was really surprised. It was a Facebook group. I want to say it was called Sleaze Nation, and I wasn't sure where they were from. Initially, I thought they were in Spain, but then I went back and looked at the website address, and it was a .se extension. And I looked it up, and that's Sweden, and I was like, wow, I was really blown away, because Sweden puts out a lot of great, second generation hair metal, really good melodic hard rock, and black metal, technical death metal, everything really, really good. A lot of good stuff comes from there. So that surprised me. I was really excited about that.
I've always said if you get a lot of hits from like Germany, or like you said, Sweden or Brazil, to me, that's getting out there to the metal folks.
Yeah, it really is. That's true.
Any show or moment that stands out to you that made you think this is really worth everything we put into this so far? Have you guys had that moment possibly yet?
Let's see. We've had a couple like that. We got to play the M3 pre-party last year, and I think there were 5 bands on the bill. We were right in the middle. We went on about 10 o'clock, and the club we were playing in, Sonoma's, I think holds maybe 200 people, but there must have been 250 in there that night. It was just jam-packed. And by the time we went on, I mean, the crowd, everybody had, were good and loose, had a few drinks in them, and they were just loud right up there in front of us on stage. It was just amazing. You could see people singing along with some of the songs. And yeah, we were looking at each other like, man, I don't want this night to end. Yeah. And we tried. We stayed up drinking really, really late.
Folks, get out and check out Babylon Shakes. They're going to be at Rocklanta March 29th and the 30th in Atlanta, Georgia. Get out and check that out. Plus, get out and buy their debut album, Exile, to the Velveteen Lounge. That's out February the 1st. Plus, get out and check out their EP as well. Chris, how could folks stay in touch with you guys? Buy some merchandise, this album, things like that. How can you do that, my man?
We are really, really active on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Our website is www.babylonshakes.com. You can also check us out at highvolmusic.com. And I know through our Facebook page you can buy merch and get in touch with us. Yeah, we're totally social.
Before I let you go, good sir, would you care to do a promo for my show?
Sure thing, man. Hi, this is Chris Clark, guitarist and singer for Babylon Shakes, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We've got some great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Please get out and check out our Facebook page. It actually has our podcast link plus our YouTube link, and you also want to get out and check out Babylon Shakes. They got some really great music out there. So, Chris, thank you so much, and the best of 2019 to you guys, my man.
Thank you so much, John. I enjoyed talking to you.
Thanks.
That's when I take my